Doing a quick record here of Apple. I've been playing Apple for a while, and it came back down to the 200. I was like, all right, gonna absorb, gonna buy it. All right, so I've been paying attention to Apple. Apple had news today that they were gonna invest in America more, build an AI plant or something in Texas or something like that. And anyway, they're happy, or they're trying to get on the good side of Trump. And so this seems to have done it. And that's the news that's kind of popping Apple up today. Well, when you go back and you look at the VP on Apple, it looks like there's a big, thick level between 210 and 211, but that's actually from back here. If you just look at from the upper flag that we started playing down, look how the VP kind of changes. So it's like, all right, well, the real VP that you had to get over was these guys. And so we're over. And once Apple created this flag, I wanted to play it. I didn't get the pullback down lower. So, like, if you were to just create your technical analysis level, like your retest should have come to about right here, right? We didn't get it. So I didn't get in on that trade. So that's one that I wanted. I did not get it. So I have a rule. I either play the absorption or the breakout. All right. Well, there's the breakout. And there's your retest. So think of it like this. If we're getting to the value area high and then coming back to the point of control, which is that breakout level, I'm a buyer. That's when I bought the Apple Lottos. I think Apple could hypothetically push to 215 um, this week. So we've got today, we got 3 days where Apple could push to 215. And 215 is picked because of the VP. And so what do we do here? We sell a piece, right? So bought here at this circle, sold here at double top, sold here, free trade now. That's it. So now talking about stopping out from like what you have to do and decide is we caught, $2.50 out of this thing, basically. A little under 250. So what was the ultimate goal? Ultimate goal's 215. So is it worth holding 10%, 20% from here to try to take it to 215 at the end of the week? Does that make sense? What I'm saying? It's like, so like we've caught it, and this is how you have to decide what to hold on to, how to trail stop out, what you want to do. Does that make sense? So like for me, what I say is, all right, I've made my money. The trade is done. It's a free trade now. With the money that I'm going to have left over, let's say you're going to make $250, and you're gonna keep two contracts or whatever that math would be. Do I think that I have the chance of this hitting 215 by the end of the week versus coming down and stopping me out at wherever my stop would be, which would probably be around VWAP? That's what you have to decide. And that's how you set your stops and targets and all that kind of stuff. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the question is, at what point were you going to play options? Because I was playing shares. I bought this. I bought shares here on this open range break of the pre-market high. And so why did I switch to options? instead of shares here, because for me, the which ones was I playing? The 21250 calls. When I was playing when I'm looking at the 21250 calls, I can manage that risk pretty much as good as I could with the shares because I'm playing this week's, and the trade was either going to work quickly, like it would work itself out today very quickly. So for me, like with shares and options, it's about speed, about like on the open range break here, it's like if I have Apple pulled up on one of my uh, E-Trade, whoops. So like if I don't know if you can see it, but in the dead center of my screen, I've got like a bunch of these pulled up on my other screens. So what I actually have to do is I actually have to click on those and then press the speed key button to buy it. And I can only do that with shares safely. By the time I click on Apple, pull up an option, decide what option is going to be, it's probably up here. I've lost $1 to $1.50. Does that make sense? This was slower, just as easy to manage, and would work out quickly. Does that make sense? The difference? Yes, it's. I need to buy it, and I need to buy it right now. So like what I could do, and what I used to do is have speed key pulled up. So like E Trade has you've got your level 2 here, your market depth, but you also have they have these little speed buttons. And with things like Apple, you can actually put in options so that you can just market order in and market order out. And it'll work in Apple because they're tight, right? You're not going to be losing a lot on spreads with Apple. On other companies, though, it's just not going to work. So this is the habit that I've developed. Could I have done that today with Apple? Absolutely. I could have had a speed key button pulled up for an Apple option, and it would have been the same. Yeah. Yep. And the thing here is, if I'm buying a breakout, like you remember, this is the flag that I wanted to play right here. If it came down and came into the VWAP area or this line area, I've been able to buy options, right? Because I'm buying a pullback, it's time, it's easy. Okay. If I'm buying this breakout of this flag up here, right, it's going to be a little bit harder to play options unless I've just got them pulled up and then they're in that thing and I can just hit market order, right? So buying breakouts, it's just easier to buy options. I'm sorry. Yeah, shares. Buying breakouts, it's easier to buy shares. Thank you. Yes. So like when it's pulling back, you're like, oh, okay, this is the range that I wanted in. So like on Hood, right? I bought shares. I literally bought shares of Hood, and on W, I literally bought shares of W. And so like yesterday, I'm buying shares down here, and I'm buying options. Well, why? Well, because I've got time to do it. I've got time to set it up. I've got the orders in on Hood. Well, why are you buying shares and options? Well, because literally the options that I bought when it went from 72.55 to 73.65 towards the end of the day, I was up by like maybe 15% on the options. They just didn't move for whatever reason. Maybe I paid a little too high for them, and so it's only a 15% gain. But on the shares, I took exactly what I wanted to take, which was $1 gain. You know what I mean? Like it's easier to understand how options, I don't know, how shares are going to move versus options. It's like I want $1 gain right here out of 1,000 shares. That's going to give me $1,000. That's going to pay for the options that I bought at 75 cents. I bought 10 of those, $750 free trade. And so there's always different reasons why I buy shares versus options, and it always comes down to control, risk, and speed. And another example here on Hood, right? We want to absorb from 102.50 down to 100. Well, I wanted to wait. Remember, I wanted to wait a little bit longer on my absorption plays. I'm always a little bit too early from this what I said yesterday about all right, instead of 102.50, let's go 101.50. Okay, great. Well, I'm in Hood. And I'm up like, I mean, I guess so the low side of the bid is 545. So I'm up like 20 cents here. But I'm up on the shares over $1. So I can easily pop that out. But I'm not going to scalp 20 cents on this Hood option that I'm paying $5 for. Anyway, so if we were buying support, selling resistance on Apple, like this is a good one. I should have quantified that today, right? See how we're just climbing? It's like support, sell, buy support, sell here. So you see how this is? I mean, this is just a clean chart that you want to buy and sell resistance on the way up. So you're selling every rip, you're buying every dip, and then eventually, what's going to happen once this tops out? What will happen? Well, you'll get a dip buy that breaks down, and you'll come to a bigger pivot point, and that will be your major over under for the day. So, for example, if Apple kind of breaks out here, pulls back to 211, pulls back to 212.30, pulls back down to the VWAP, well, yeah, you have a head and shoulder that's broken down and pulls you back to VWAP, but is the overall chart of the day broken? No, you're still above VWAP. Your point of control is going to be somewhere around 210. And so as long as you're holding that level, you're good. That's when you switch to a 5 minute. And it's like, oh, what do we have happening on 5, to 10, to 15, to 30? What is wrong? Right, so we haven't even had a little pullback. Like, can we get a red candle on Apple that pulls us to like maybe VWAP here? That'll be your first bottom, and then you'll get a pop back up to 211, and maybe another double bottom on a 15, 20 minute chart, 30 minute chart. Does that make sense? So you start combining the time frames together. That's it. Buy support, sell resistance.